Alrighty, today we're doing another gameplay showcase, and we're going to be showing off our Vadrok Apex of Thunder control deck. The basis of this deck is efficient removal. We have Lightning Bolt, Galvanic Discharge, Swords to Plowshares, Spell Pierce, Prismatic Ending, things like Temporary Lockdown, Lightning Helix. We take all of those and back them up with premium threats and other card advantage spells, things like Abhorrent Oculus, Stock Up, Ledger Shredder, Ajani, Ragavan. It's a fairly simple deck concept here as well. I'd like to call it a few cards here up top. Geist of St. Traft is a hexproof 2/2 that'll make a 4/4 when it attacks. This is not a human, so I can mutate Vadrok onto it. And this allows me to get a flying first strike 3/3 with hexproof that casts a spell when it enters, and also makes a 4/4 when it attacks. It can just swing for 7 every turn with hexproof. It's crazy. We've also got Flage Titan of Fire's Fury and Lightning Helix, ensuring that we don't actually die into aggro. And, personal favorite of mine, Flame of Anor. This allows me to have target player draw 2 cards, destroy target artifact, or deal 5 to target creature. But if I have a wizard, I choose 2 of those modes. For the wizards in this deck, we've got Augur of Bolas, card advantage spell that can dig for flame, Thundertrap Trainer, card advantage spell that can dig for flame, and Snapcaster Mage, card advantage spell that can recast flame, as well as Vadrok, who can recast flame. This card gives completely absurd value if you can start flashing it back especially. Vadrok itself is a 3 mana 3/3 with Mutate for 4, being a flying first strike. Elemental Dinosaur Cat. Cat might matter a little bit. And when this mutates, I can cast a non-creature card with mana value 3 or less from my graveyard without paying its mana cost. And with that, let's get right on into this game with that mill guy. Alrighty, we're on the play here. We're playing Vadrok here with our Lutra companion. We're up against a Ragavan deck. We've got a fairly interesting hand. We've got a Thundering Falls and a Bauble to try to find land 2. If we can do that, we can Lightning Helix the Ragavan, and then everything's fine. And we can also hold the Bauble for the Steel Cutter. If not, we can Ponder to try to find land 2. I think I'll keep this. I may have set a precedent in the last one that I'm a little willing to keep one-landers if they have selection, but let's see how this goes. We're going to lead on a Thundering Falls. Finding a March of Otherworldly Light, we're going to graveyard that. And to make sure we hit that land drop, I think we're just going to cast this Bauble out. And we're going to pass it back. We're going to see Basic Mountain Ragavan. Yep. Just going to end step, we'll Bauble them. See a Searing Blood off the top. That's a removal spell. We'll draw for Bauble, draw for turn. We find a command tower. Finding this Lightning Bolt actually means we can get our own Ragavan down and still hold up this bolt, so we're just going to get that in play and pass it. We're going to see remove that Searing Blood onto our Ragavan. We'll take 3 for the trouble, and we're just going to bolt their Ragavan at the beginning of combat. If we find a land here, we can get Cutter down and Ponder. Augur of Bolas isn't bad. Let's start with a Ponder. We will find a land. This is a fine set of cards. I think we're just going to hold up mana for this turn. We can get our Lightning Helix in. We could just see a Ragavan recast here. We're going to see a Broadside Bombardiers. We're just going to crack this Flooded Strand, grab our Tundra. And we're just going to Helix this. Now, if we hit a land this turn, we can play Cutter into an Augur. That'd be pretty good. Temporary Lockdown works pretty well. I think we are... No, we're going to be planning to play this Lockdown here fairly soon if they redeploy threats. So we're just going to get this Augur in. We're going to find a stock up off the top. It's pretty good. I think we are going to Brainstorm. We'd really like to hit this land drop, and we succeed. We're going to hide this Cutter and stock up in the top. Play out the island. I think we're just going to pass it. We can hold this Probe for the actual Cutter trigger. Having a Mental Misstep, which always hits Ragavan no matter how much they actually cast it for, is nice. Seeing a Cutter of theirs. This is why we were holding that lockdown. We're going to see a Flame Slash. That's fine. We don't need to spend our misstep here. Let's just get this lockdown down before Cutter deals too much damage to us. And next turn we can start cutting. So Cori-Steel Cutter makes non-human monk tokens for Vadrok. That's a pretty great aspect to it. Ooh, a Loyal Apprentice, pretty good card. We're not too concerned about that card right now, because we can keep Ragavan off the field pretty well. Oh, and a Tormenting Voice. That's interesting. It's going to be discarding... Grab the Prize? That's a bit of an interesting one. Because they could have cast Grab the Prize, discarding Tormenting Voice to deal 2 to us. We're going to pick up that Cutter. We're going to get it down. We're just going to hard cast this Probe. Into mono red, we would just rather not burn our life total. Finding a Sacred Foundry. So we could have cast Stock up here if we'd played this for mana and played this untapped. But then we'd also probably play at Mental Misstep for 2 life, and that's burning 6, just for a little bit of velocity, into mono red when they're the aggro deck. And here's where we get to Misstep. Now here on my turn, I'm probably just going to cast Vadrok onto this monk token. That'll flashback Lightning Helix, kill the Loyal Apprentice, trigger the Cutter. Geist of St. Traft is an interesting hit. That makes it more viable to just stock up. If we find a land, we can get Traft down, and then that's a great thing to Vadrok onto. But I think we are just going to cast Vadrok. Cast with Mutate onto this monk. Blue, red, white, red. I will put it on top. And cast Lightning Helix. They're going to Ghostfire Slice our Vadrok before we get our Prowess trigger. That's fine. We'll send Vadrok back to our zone. And we will Lightning Helix the Loyal Apprentice. Trigger our Cutter again. Get another Monk token. Gain 3 life. Clear that. And you'll notice that Lightning Helix is still in the graveyard, because Vadrok just sends them back. You can just keep casting the same spell. So in this turn, we're probably going to stock up, dig for an an answer, and a land, get Geist down. They're going to shock our monk token. That's perfectly fine. Any cards burnt on Cori-Steel Cutter tokens is cards that aren't going at our face or important cards. Abhorrent Oculus is a pretty great hit. We're just going to stock up here. We're going to take a Lightning Strike to the face. That's just fine. We're going to find some lands. Grab a basic Plains with this Marsh Flats. We'll pick up one of my personal favorites, Flame of Anor. Get this Flats down. Grab a Plateau. Probably was better to actually get the basic here, in case they moon. So creature, land, misstep, land, march, land, trigger our cutter, make a monk, get eyeball down. Go to their end step, trigger our eyeball. We're going to manifest dread, put this land back in the graveyard. We currently have artifact, instant, sorcery, creature, land. So we have plenty of delirium. And that'll wrap up game one.
Asper, you're killing me right now. Brutal control.
Love.
You are absolutely killing me.
Absolutely.
Oh my god. Yeah, when you had like the mental misstep was honestly, that's where I was like, oh god, we're dead. The temporary lockdown was something, but the mental misstep, it's like, oh no, please.
Mental misstep always
please.
Hitting Ragavan is a great aspect of that card in this format.
Yeah. That was not a fun one, but it got there. Let me think here. What do I even bring into this matchup? What do I have? Oh my god. There's some things. Some things. Okay, all right. There's stuff. Wish I could open this up in two menus here. Okay, what are some of the bad cards in here? What are some of the bad cards in here? Might be too slow. That's not bad. That's good. Okay, one. Let's go. What are you thinking about boarding it? You got a lot of anti-aggro tools, or are you just kind of like built in?
Most of the deck is built in to be ready for aggro. That's just where a lot of it is. But I do have a couple cards. I'll call out specifically Blue Elemental Blast as the sort of card that that's going to be great into Ragavan.
And rightfully so. My red elemental blast and blue elemental blast will be coming in as well.
Yep.
I'm just trying to think if I'm overboarding at this point or not. This in, and then of course let's bring that stuff in. Red elemental blast and the pyro.
And then I'm also going to be bringing out some of the slower cards in this matchup. Things like Stock Up aren't really at their peak.
Yeah. They put in work, though. They put in work.
No, especially if I can get into that end game. Those cards are still great, right? But it's actually getting there that matters.
Yeah, fair enough. And then, okay, so that's that. And then what else on my sideboard? So much that like has potential. I guess. Okay. I may not be boarding this one right, but we'll make it work. Okay. Oh no, but I gotta go to 49. Oh my god. Right. Yep. Right. I'm overboarding. Let's do. I take a card out. I gotta take a card out. It's not bad. Okay, probably that. Not the game I want to play. All right. Okay, I think I am ready. I'm going to create a lobby up for us.
Sounds great.
Are you ready yourself?
I am ready.
Okay, let me open up my pulse board deck list. Wait, why can't I submit? Oh my god, it's probably something to do with the arts. Goddamn flame / art. That's what it is. All right.
Of course.
Okay, Ragavan pulse board, create.
Beautiful.
Okay, all right. Good luck to you.
Right, good luck
Let's
to you
do
as
this,
well.
Esper.
Yeah. Alrighty, going here into round 2. We've brought in our 2 blue elemental blasts and a Brotherhood's End, taking out Gitaxian Probe, which doesn't really matter in this matchup. Taking out our Stock Up, slow in this matchup, and our Ghostfire Slice, which doesn't have great targets in this matchup. Being on the draw means that Ragavan is going to come down turn 1 pretty much every time. And this hand cannot answer a turn 1 Ragavan unless we rip something off the top. It's better just to mull here. Coming back here from the edit, apparently I just didn't see that there was a mental misstep in this hand. This one was probably fine. Do feel free to comment below that I'm blind or something. This hand's also not great. Thunder Trap Trainer helps. Brainstorm always helps. We got a land, 2 lands more than we'd like, and it again doesn't answer Ragavan. We can go to 5. This Thundering Falls, it's glued to my hand. I think we are going to keep this one because we don't want to go too low. I think we're probably going to bottom the Geist of St. Traft here. This Hydroblast and Ponder are going to be good. It has his Thunder Trap. I think we'll keep up the Ragavan over the Mana Drain, just to actually get on board. We're going to see that Mountain Ragavan. We're going to find just no more lies off the top. This Surveil doesn't really matter, because we're going to get ragged. So now what we're going to do is, on our turn, if we don't draw a land, we're just going to ponder, really hoping for that blue source so we can Hydroblast the Ragavan. They're going to take a Snapcaster Mage from us. I don't think that'll be cast here. No? Nope, we're going to see a Blood Moon. Now if we don't rip the basic island off the top here, we're not going to be able to do much. We can get our own Ragavan down. And if we manage to connect with that, we'll be able to beat this Blood Moon. But I doubt they'll let us. Get a Swift Spear and a Searing Spear. We're just going to take a bunch of damage here. Finding our Arena of Glory doesn't help either one. Finding a DRC, that's at least a blocker for Ragavan. And we're gonna see a stomp. Taking a bunch more damage. There goes a Bauble. That's a free card for them. We're going to see that Bone Crusher come down. They're going to look at our card before we draw it. Finding a basic mountain. And we just got to pass it back again. They could have lethal this turn if they have a lightning bolt or something. They're going to be swinging in for 7. Putting us down to 3. don't believe there are any draws in the deck that get us out of here anymore. Even if we can blue blast the Blood Moon with a basic island. And we're gonna see a Skullcrack. That'll take us out. That will wrap up game 2.
Asper, I don't think that was fair. I don't think that was a real game for you.
The turn 2 Blood Moon is certainly powerful.
Yeah, that was. I mean, the fact that you didn't find lands. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think even it was the Blood Moon. You weren't even able to play the game.
I was also.
All, so.
I was relying on a ponder to help me find an extra land drop, but
yeah,
being unable to
okay.
cast ponder as well isn't great.
I don't think the last game we're gonna play here is gonna work out for me as easily. So let's hop into it. Yep. As long as you don't start off on, I don't know, 2 tap lands in a row, I think you're fine. Like
the Thundering Falls is glued to my hand.
yeah, exactly. All right, hey, created the lobby. Good luck on this last one. Let's close it out.
Alrighty, into game 3. No more sideboard changes. But now we're on the draw, so 2 mana removal spells and cantrips and tap lands work. And we're going to see the 1 mana removal spell that we were hoping for all that time ago. We also have Lightning Helix and Ragavan of our own. Thundering Falls still stuck to our hand. We will keep this. This game, we're just going to get our Ragavan down on 1. This Arid Mesa is going to go find our plateau. Presuming if their turn 1 is just Mountain Ragavan, we can ending their Ragavan, get a treasure, and get our tap land down. Or play an Arena of Glory if we flip a 2-drop. Grabbing our plateau, casting our Ragavan. We're going to see a Bloodstained Mire, fetching basic mountain, casting a bolt on our Ragavan. Into our turn. Misty Rainforest is a nice hit. That means we can hold up both blue mana and Lightning Helix for this turn. We basically never want to tap out of our blue Elemental Blast in case of Blood Moon. As you saw, we kind of just die to that card a lot of the time. But we're just going to fetch our basic here. Oh, I should not have done that. It does not cast Lightning Helix. That's my bad. But the main way we actually lose this is Blood Moon hitting the battlefield. So we're just going to do everything in our power to not let that happen. Until we, at the least, until we get a basic plains. We're going to see a Cori-Steel Cutter. That's pretty scary. We can Prismatic Ending that, though. We're going to see a Chain Lightning to our face. They're going to make a Monk token. Slickshot Show-Off is going to grow. I think we are just going to actually bounce this Chain Lightning back into this Slickshot. We're just going to save that card. We're going to take 2 here. And get our Thundering Falls down now. We'll keep this Discharge. And I think we are just going to get rid of the Cori-Steel Cutter while we can. They've not indicated that they actually have Blood Moon, and we do have most of our hand accessible at this point. So I think if they dash Ragavan we are going to just blast it. Oh, we're going to see an Exert out of the Arena of Glory. We're going to see a Ragavan cast with haste. Not no, this was dashed. This gets haste when you dash it. This doesn't need to... Interesting. But we are just going to blast that. And we're going to see a Pyroblast. Sure thing. So we're going to take 4 damage here. They're going to flip a card from us. Finding that Galvanic Discharge we'd put on top. Not a useful card for them. Finding a Marsh Flats, not a bad hit. Let's get this Augur of Bolas down. We're going to find an Expressive Iteration. These can go back in any order. I think we are going to ponder here. We're going to see a fetch. This is going to be a lightning bolt, a searing spear into our augur. That's perfectly fine. We're going to look at a couple cards. Swords to Plowshares is pretty great. We can hide these two on top, take our bauble, play the bauble. We don't really want the counterspell anymore. We don't need that. But we do want the bauble in the graveyard. And we're going to see a grab the prize off the top. That's not castable quite yet, but it will be soon. We're going to pick up our swords. Go into the beginning of combat. We're going to crack this Marsh Flats, grab our planes. We're just going to Helix their Ragavan. We're going to take 1 from this Monk token. See that Ragavan recast. Into our turn, we find a Tundra off the top. Not bad. Let's cast our iteration. Finding an Ajani. So we'll put that in our hand. This fountain on the bottom. Exile a Bloodstained Mire. Play the Mire. And get our Ajani down. Making a cat. This will all make it really hard to actually attack into us successfully. As well, these are both 2 non-humans for Vadrok. And Vadrok itself is a cat. We're going to see that grab the prize, discarding a mountain. That's perfectly fine. We are going to see attacks. We're going to go to take 2 from the Monk, throw this cat in front of the Ragavan. We're going to see a Ghostfire Slice. That'll take out our Ajani itself. That's perfectly fine. We can now just swords this Monk token, and the board is clear. I'm going to hold this Bloodstained Mire. Alrighty, so here, companions, they need you to actually pay 3 and put them into hand. I don't believe that's actually implemented into MTGO, so we're just going to mime doing that. and they're just going to scoop it. We've got too much value ahead. We don't.
I have been successfully controlled, Esper. Successfully controlled.
Control has happened.
Oh Lord, that was good. That was good.
All-Star Lightning Helix taken over there.
Literally, that was the only card I cared about, because that was like, that card meant I couldn't burn you out. That was, especially with how it works with your commander and everything.
Oh yeah, I've got Snapcaster in the deck, and then obviously Vadrok in the command zone. Just being able to cast Lightning Helix multiple times is huge.
Is so good against as an anti-aggro tool. No, it was good. No, hey, good games. Yeah. I got to do what I got to do. I was thinking of like mulling hard for the Blood Moon effect. It just didn't seem like the thing to do on the draw.
Well, the nice thing about blue decks is that you can run Blue Elemental Blast. Early turns I was very intentionally, I fetched Basic Island, and I did not tap that, holding up the Blue Blast for the moon, just in case. Exactly. Until the point where it had been, like, sort of shown to me that you probably don't have it, and I got both basics.
Exactly. No, I was not finding it at all. Even my like opening hand in game 3 there, like if I had one more land, I probably would have kept it. There was enough threats where I felt comfortable with it, but can't keep one landers versus control. That's how you take an L. I appreciate it. Hey, thank you for the games.
Absolutely.
Thank you for showcasing how good a control deck can be. That was good.
No, there are so many great control cards in this format. Sad I didn't get to actually showcase one of my favorite cards in this deck, Flame of Anor.
Oh yeah. A little bit of card draw, treasure making, removal. Cards great.
Goes with all those wizards, and it's also astounding to flashback with Vadrok. I've cast Flame of Anor. I've cast the same Flame of Anor 3 or 4 times in single matchups.
Oh God. That must be a
absurd.
Nightmare. Yeah, no, that sounds like an absolute nightmare for everybody else but you. The card, especially once you have like a wizard out and everything.
Yeah, my free 3-for-1s. My God. Going into our wrap up here, this deck performed pretty excellently. The only game we lost was when we got hit by a turn 2 Blood Moon after not finding one of our great interactive pieces for that moon and for the Ragavan that preceded it. But we do have 2 basics, and have several great red cards. This is a base blue-white deck. Red is our smallest color, but we can certainly play through Blood Moon, especially if we have at least one of our basics. In the games we won, we efficiently removed their creatures, got down threats stronger than things that they could muster, and just bashed back. In that game 1 especially, the Cori-Steel Cutter coming down after theirs was removed and just providing absurd value was great, with an Oculus being able to clean it up from there. And in game 3, even when we'd fully flooded out, we can just pick up Lutri from our sideboard. We got Lutri and Vadrok standing in to do a lot of extra work, being potentially 4 for 0s. With 2 free cards from Lutri, free card from Vadrok, flashing back, free card. Even if the thing it's targeting gets removed, it's still a card. This can be cast multiple times. It's hard to really keep it off board. And being a 3/3 flying first strike means it's not easy to attack through this thing. And we'll wrap it up here. This has been another great showcase match. Thank you all for watching. Stay tiny.